Hi there, I'm Alex Polinsky, and I'm excited to share with you some crazy and funny and spiritual stories, all from the Russia Rostov-na-Donu mission. I hope you enjoy. Jason, my companion and I got mugged by a large group of teenagers. I was even pepper sprayed in the face during the ordeal. The crazy part, however, was that after it was over, the group came back and gave me back the ring they took from me and started chatting with us like we were long-lost friends. Nathan, picking up drunks off the pavement. Matt, Elder Zitla and I were going home one night in a rough neighborhood, and some kids stopped us to try to get money from us. They threatened to attack us and take our money, but we ran away and they did not chase us. Kevin, people persecuted us for hours by car and on the street. Anne, having a companion who couldn't tell the difference between someone who was a drunk and a special spirit. We spent far too much time trying to escape drunks who had us in their apartment and didn't want to let us out, or running from them on the street. Jake, dealing with drunk men, especially as the Ukraine war was heating up. They did not like Americans and would often try to start fights. Also, don't talk to the police if you get into trouble or get attacked. It causes too many legal problems. Just call the mission president or the visa registration people in the office and they will tell you what to do. The police don't like us. You just have to be smart and follow the promptings of the Spirit and you'll be safe. If you follow the Spirit, you should never, ever have to talk to the police. I only talked to them twice, and that was because I wanted to, not because they stopped me. Jason, there was an ice storm and everything was covered in ice. My companion offered to help an old lady across the icy street, and as he offered, he slipped and fell on his rear end. The woman just shook her head and kept walking. Nathan, being pushed on the bus and my feet weren't touching the floor for a couple stops. Matt, I remember we saw some very strange things in my mission, and we created the journal of the events that happened that were the most strange. One of them was when we were knocking a dome and coming out of the stairwell, there was a giant moth, like the size of my hand on the wall, and I touched it to see if it was alive, and it took off flying and then somehow oozed the liquid, and it got all over my companion's bag. Kevin, a guy on the street gave his book he wrote. Anne, the first time I used a public restroom, which involved a row of holes in the floor, no privacy, my Russian companion, who spoke no English, kept repeating Timima, and I kept asking what that meant and telling her I don't understand that word. When I finished my business and discovered I had missed and soiled my food, I learned that it meant I was off target. I'm sure most of the women who stopped to go that day still remember it too. There's a large store called Asnor, not far from the mission office. Our mission president referred to it as the Big Astor. I hope that wasn't too much information. Jake, having to run home before 9:30 p.m. because the buses stopped running that late at night. In one area, we had to do this almost every night. Another time, a drunk lady came up to me while I was trying to visit a less active. The lady realized I was American and she asked me how to say I love you in English. I said it and she smiled saying, "Oh, thanks," in Russian. Then she went in for the kiss, but I ducked away and ran like the wind. Jason, we had a disabled and homebound investigator that really wanted to be baptized, but he could not leave his apartment. We were given permission to do the baptism in his home in a bathtub. The man was at least 6 feet tall and his tub was not very big. The elder baptizing him knelt outside the tub full of water and tried to submerge the man without much success. They tried again with not much more success. The investigator was fully willing to try again, but it was obvious that he was just too big for the tub. At that point, our mission president, who was at the baptism, told the elder that was sufficient and that the ordinance was valid before the Lord. This man was so faithful and had such a desire to follow the Savior and be baptized, you couldn't help but feel the Spirit through every part of your body. Nathan, baptism in the Don River. Matt, a mission is full of spiritual experiences. One of the experiences I had that was neat was teaching one of the young men's parents. Kostya had been baptized before I got to the field, and his parents had not yet joined the church. They were investigating the church, but the office elders were teaching them and not getting to them enough, according to Kostya. So as the district leader, I decided to supplement the office elders' visits with some visits of my own. We would leave teaching the lessons to the office elders, but we would go over to them to read the Book of Mormon. One time we read the Book of Mormon, and it was so spiritual you could almost cut it with a knife. The next day, they told me that a clock that had never worked before started working, and they thought it was because of the intensity of the Spirit that was there. Perhaps that's not true, that the Spirit made the clock work again, but I believe that is not beyond the realm of possibility. The Lord works in mysterious ways. Kevin, my first baptism. We found somebody, and the ward ignored everything we did. We had problems, made the decision to move forward and make the best out of our situation. After our decision, on that Sunday, we came to church, and our investigator was baptized in 2 months. And, bearing testimony to myself in my head, as we went from door to door, I was secretly practicing for when I gave my welcome home talk, but quickly realized this is a powerful tool to get continual, extremely powerful confirmation of the truth. Jake. While serving as the first counselor in the branch presidency, I taught the branch president how to give blessings and lead the branch. We both learned a lot from each other and the Spirit, and were led many times in how to act on how to bless the members of our branch. Well, I hope you enjoyed the stories from the Russia Rostov-na-Donu mission. If you served in the mission and you're willing to share some of your experiences, you can go to preparetoserve.com/survey and complete that Google form that's there. Also, if you're willing to be video interviewed about your mission in Utah sometimes, feel free to message us and we'd love to video interview you about your mission for our YouTube channel. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.